What is up, everybody? You're checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm the Hot Commodity Ant C, and today we are covering back in our Attitude Year Season 2, covering all of WWE from 1999. If you want to see what happened prior to 1999 in the Attitude Era, you can check out Season 1 in the archives. Great coverage of December 97 all the way through 98. And today we are covering WWE Raw is War from April 12th, 1999, live in Detroit, Michigan. Raw has been crazy the past couple of weeks, so hopefully the momentum will continue. We are 2 weeks away from Backlash in your house, so things are going to definitely start making progress. We open Raw with the corporation coming out. Shane McMahon grabs the mic and say, "I'd like to introduce the Mean Street Posse." And that's Pete Gas, Rodney, and Joey Abs. Ken Shamrock grabs the mic and Ken says, "Where were you when my sister got kidnapped?" Shane tells him to calm down, and he calls out Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie and Vince come down with guards. Vince says, "Why would you want to endanger your sister and call her out to the ring like this?" Shane says, "All you care about is daddy's little girl. Someone's getting fired. I don't have room in the corporation for the old. Pat and Jerry, you are both fired." Vince says, "You're on a power trip, huh, Shane?" Shane says, "Where is the Vince McMahon we all know? You always taught me to climb over anyone. Where are the balls the size of grapefruits?" Vince says, "My priority is your sister's welfare." Shane slaps Vince in the face. Stephanie begs for Shane to leave. Vince walks off. Shane says, "You're not my dad anymore. You are simply known as Vince." Ken Shamrock then says, "That's your dad," and he leaves. We then see Vince and Stephanie leaving the arena. So Shane is taking over the corporation and stepping all over his dad's wants to get what he wants. We have the women's title on the line next. The women's champion Sable with Nicole Bass taking on Tori and Ivory and Jacqueline in a four-way match. A lot of action here. Nicole chokeslams all three women, and Sable grinds, and that was that match. It was just Nicole Bass taking out the women's division for Sable. Undertaker appears on the Titantron and says, "Stephanie will be mine, and someone will be sacrificed, and Vince, you will be to blame for it." Next, the WWE Champion Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out. Austin says, "If you are ready for Backlash, give me a hell yeah. If you thought WrestleMania was something, you got another thing coming. As far as Shane guest refereeing goes, you can run down jackass Vince McMahon. You will not treat Stone Cold Steve Austin like Vince, because I will beat your ass like the sorry son of a bitch you are. Rock, either bring that belt to me or I will drag your Rudy Poo ass out here and wipe the arena with your ass." The Rock is on a bridge on the Titantron. Rock tells Stone Cold to come and hunt the Brahma Bull down. You want it? Come and get it. So Rock is taunting Austin from a bridge, telling him to come get the title. Mankind locked himself in a boiler room to protect the Big Show from himself. We have the Big Show taking on Christian next. Undertaker tells Edge and Gangrel to leave now because Christian needs to prove himself to me. Well, Christian gets annihilated by the Big Show. He gets a big boot and a choke slam, and Big Show gets the win. We see Mankind back in the boiler room. Mankind says, "I have a big problem with the Big Show. He will leave the boiler room in a big stretcher." And then Shane McMahon tells the Mean Street Posse to take Mankind out backstage. Mankind versus the Big Show will take place at Backlash in a boiler room brawl. Next, we have Val Venis taking on Billy Gunn. This is a decent match between these mid-card guys here. During the match, Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart attack Billy Gunn. Val Venis and the Road Dogg make the save. Then after the match, Debra looks at Val, and Jeff rolls her out of the ring. So it looks like Debra has her eyes on Val Venis here, which wouldn't be a surprise to most. We get the casual GTX Slam of the Week. X-Pac hitting the X Factor to Billy Gunn on Heat during a match. Mankind beats up the Mean Street Posse in the boiler room, and someone is heard whimpering in the back. Next, we have Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett with Debra versus the Acolytes. The Ministry of Darkness come out and attack everyone. Undertaker has Debra. Undertaker says, "Vince left me no choice tonight. Stephanie was to be my trophy. Now you're going to have to do." Ken Shamrock runs out with a bat. Undertaker tells him if he hits him, he'll never see Ryan again. She is in the boiler room. Ken Shamrock attacks the Ministry of Darkness with the bat, and I'm sure he's going to go look for Ryan Shamrock. Next, we have the Intercontinental Champion Goldust defending against the Big Boss Man. Before the match can happen, the Godfather comes out with his hose, and Godfather tells the Boss Man he can have the hose so he can fight Goldust for the title. Big Boss Man obliges, and now we have Goldust versus Godfather. Godfather gets the win after a DVD, and the Godfather is our new Intercontinental Champion, defeating Goldust. We see Ken Shamrock and Mankind in the boiler room looking for Ryan. We get a promo for WWF The Music Volume 2. The Ministry attack Ken Shamrock backstage. Ryan Shamrock screams. Paul Bearer puts ether on Ken's mouth, and the Undertaker grabs Ryan's hair and calls her a little slut. So Undertaker totally just going over the line with Ryan and Ken. Next, we have the Hardcore Champion Hardcore Holly defending against D'Lo Brown with Ivory. During the match, Al Snow comes down and gives Hardcore Holly a glass of Kool-Aid, and Holly breaks it over D'Lo's face. Al pulls D'Lo off the top, but D'Lo hits Al with chair shots. Al moves Hardcore Holly off the table, and D'Lo hits a frog splash through it, and Hardcore gets the win. Al Snow wants Hardcore Holly to still be champion for Backlash. Undertaker tells Ken Shamrock backstage it's going to be a long night for him. The Rock is seen on the bridge with a fishing pole and says, "Let's see what we can catch." We see Ken Shamrock strapped to an Undertaker symbol. Undertaker wants the Ministry to take Christian, but the Brood attacks Mankind. Ken Shamrock and the Brood attack. So it looks like the Brood are done with the Ministry. We see Kane and X-Pac win the tag team titles last week. We have our main event, the tag team champions X-Pac and Kane taking on Test and Triple H with China in their corner. The end comes when Triple H sends Test back into the ring and leaves, and Kane hits Test with a tombstone. Kane and X-Pac retain the titles with Triple H leaving unscathed. Ken Shamrock comes out next. Shamrock says, "Undertaker, I've been trying to get a piece of you, and you keep slipping out the back door. Mark, I know you can hear me. Mark, get in here and let's end this once and for all." The lights go out, and the Undertaker attacks Ken Shamrock. When they come back, Ken attacks Undertaker until the Ministry attacks him as well. Triple H and Big Boss Man pull Ken Shamrock out of the ring. Triple H punches Ken Shamrock. Big Boss Man hits Ken Shamrock with a nightstick as Shane smiles on the stage. So why is Triple H and Big Boss Man helping the Undertaker? Stuff is hitting the fan. Stone Cold arrives on the bridge. Austin and The Rock fight, and then Rock punches Austin off the bridge into the ocean, and then Rock tosses the Smoking Skull title into the ocean as well. Austin definitely went for a ride. So The Rock has the advantage heading into Backlash, throwing Austin off the bridge. We saw Undertaker strap Ryan Shamrock to his symbol again. We saw the Brood attack the Ministry. Triple H and Big Boss Man started joining forces with the Undertaker. A lot happening. With that, stay tuned and stay uncensored.